Would you date a Patriots fan?
No.
Yeah.
This motherfucker hates. Quick, what's the number to 911? What's going on, everybody? I don't know what that is, but I do know what this is. And this is the Whatever We Want podcast with your boy Superjaz.
Superjaz.
Go ahead, say the rest of my little aliases.
AKA JT, AKA Jazz, AKA one half of the ones, AKA JT or Rock. No, you were JT. Ibn was Rocker. What else? You got a lot of aliases. I can't keep up with them all.
No, the four things I say on the show.
Thing.
I thought you were gonna say Superjaz, SJ, JT.
SJ, that was the other one. I couldn't think of it.
It's your boys Superjaz, aka SJ, Jazz, JT, whatever you want. And I'm here with my co-host. What's going on, everybody? It is y'all know who it is, where it's happening, when it is, what time period that it might be in. While we're here today, I don't fucking know. I'm sorry.
Hi. I'm Omari, Pete, whatever. How you doing?
Oh, you're not doing it?
Dude, you got it. You got everything 100% correctly. That's how it goes every time. We got it,
I got it as 100% correct as you did for mine.
There you go. Yeah. So,
and then
with the other guy joining us, the other co-host, the other friend. Well, not so much co-host, but yes, brother. I don't know what the fuck.
I have a name. I have a name.
No,
my name.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Just as everybody. I'm Superjazz's brother. Pete's mutual or other best friend. No, joke. Go ahead.
No.
I'm doing everybody's sign on today.
I'm Ibn. Yeah, I'm Jazz's brother, Pete's other best friend, and
I got his right.
Let's do it.
I got his right.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, no, I want to start.
Say sign on. Say sign on. I'm taking everybody's sign on.
I want to start this off. Do y'all remember?
Look at Pete. Pete's like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm just trying to listen to him, and he's been trying to ask us a question.
Y'all remember,
but before you tell them.
So for y'all who don't know, the three of us, Pete is our best friend. We've known him since we were like little kids.
7 for me.
Yeah, I was like 9 years old when I met this dude. So we go back. So anyway, y'all remember when we was playing SmackDown 2, I think.
Oh, you said you wanted to tell this story.
And Pete said we was doing something in the game. And Pete screamed out, "Damn!" And as soon as he did that, our mom knocked on the door. This dude hopped in his closet.
Well, he didn't scream. He didn't scream, damn. He said it loud, but he didn't go, damn. He wasn't like Farouk. He wasn't like, damn. He wasn't like, damn. But he did say it loud, and it was seconds after he said damn.
Yes.
Damn.
This dude hops in his closet because he didn't want to get in trouble. That shit was hilarious.
Scared.
Huh?
I thought I was scared.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious, man.
Pete, I said his bed was literally like enough of a hop from where his fucking closet was, and this motherfucker, damn. And then our mom opened the door, and I remember she looked around too. She's like, "Where's Pete?" My fucking young dumbass didn't know why he did it. I'm like, he in the closet. And Pete was like looking like,
"Are you fucking kidding me, man?"
Huh?
I said, "Are you fucking kidding?" I said, "Are you fucking kidding me, man?" Why you just rep me out right quick? Yeah. Why you just rep me out?
I didn't know what was going on.
You said Pete was
I didn't know.
No, you said Pete was like, and me, I was like,
okay, I got you. Yeah. That was my fault because I didn't know like who it is, what's happening, where it was at, or why it was here today at the time. I was clueless to the bitch. Bitches are clueless from what I'm told.
who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing?
So hoobity do stank when you might try to not lose, and how do you do wee Mandel today when you can? Oh, I can it jam burry. Okay.
So speaking of JT, Rocker, and SmackDown 2, yeah, I
Which
remember
we were
when we
talking about
first
off camera.
got.
Okay.
No, we talked about when I said you're one half of the ones. I said JT, and I'm like Rocker. I know Rocker was somebody else, and then you just said, "Remember
did
when
you
we
say
were
that
playing
when you were-
SmackDown 2?"
Oh.
And then Ibn said, "Remember when we were playing SmackDown 2?" And damn, we actually were. I actually am continuing the conversation from stuff in this video. But speaking of that stuff, by the way,
Like
the
that was
streak.
shot at- excuse me.
By the way, the streak continues of us talking about wrestling shit on the channel.
Well, he opened up with SmackDown too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's downhill from here.
yeah, exactly. But speaking of that game and the SmackDown series, I still remember I wanted to talk about a character from the first SmackDown. One of the first things we did when we rented that game the first time, because we tried to make a character, and in that game, you could either you couldn't like customize people's eyes and stuff like that. Pretty much, you can just pick between assorted, already in the game body parts and stuff. So, and most of them belong to other wrestlers. So we, as a group, came up with the character that was essentially, when it boiled down to, Kane, but he had The Rock's head. It was The Rock's head and Kane's body. And we were like, we need a name for this character. And we couldn't really think of anything. Or either we couldn't think of anything, or we all equally thought we were the same amount of genius and said Rain. Rane. You know, so it's like a play on the word rain, but it's Rock and Kane. So Rain. And it's cool. Yeah. So we did that. And we made the character. We all thought it was cool. Blah blah blah. Eventually, we made other characters. The two of them had characters that were pretty much just The Rock when he's wearing his black and white like sweats attire. One had sunglasses. One was just straight up The Rock.
We were serious Rock fans. If y'all are not getting this,
this was back in 2002. So
yeah,
Rock was,
Rock.
He was at an all-time high. His popularity was just like through the roof. So yeah.
And SmackDown 1, I think, was still PlayStation 1, or was it PlayStation 2?
Both of them were. The first two were.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So this is still PlayStation 1 era anyway. So but yeah. So got the both. We had two characters that were both The Rock. One was like JT. One was The Rock with sunglasses, and that was Rocker. That was these two people's. Mine was pretty much The Rock, but he had Triple H's head and was still black. And that was Original Pimp, because I couldn't fit Original Gangsta Pimp in the thing. So there was Original Pimp, and we had our stable, the Brahma Bulls.
God, we were some kids. Good Lord. Good Lord. Hearing this shit, we were some children. Jesus.
Anyway, I bought the majority of the SmackDown games growing up, like after that when I could, especially once I got my own PS2. And SmackDown versus Raw, I want to say 2006. I also got a hold of a Game Shark to where you can like change people's stats and stuff. And by then, every version of the game that comes out, a wrestling game that came out, I made like characters from the past. JT and Rocker would be made. Original Pimp, T-Bone and Butcher.
T-Bone and Butcher that you made as defaults from fucking the Attitude, WWE Attitude game.
Yeah, so shit like that we had always did. So SmackDown 2006 was no exception. But I decided, because I had access to make a character the most broken piece of shit that you can have them be, and by broken I mean overpowered, I made Rain, because that was our legacy character, and I hadn't put him in there in a while. And I'm like, and I'm gonna bust him to all shit. So then I'm playing the game with a friend of mine whose name I won't say on here, but he was well, just because maybe people don't want their name out there like that.
No. I'm saying go ahead, because I know.
Oh no, I saw Ibn's face.
No, I was doing it because I'm like, who is this?
Oh, okay. Yeah. You definitely met him. He's taller than me. He lived near me during high school and stuff. Kind of on the
Did you
goofy
like him?
side. Yeah, kind of on the
Okay.
goofy side. He was a friend of mine, real close friend of
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
But he was playing, or we were playing, and he saw Rain, and he's like, "What's this?" And I explained the whole thing, and I'm like, "Yeah, we named him Rain because he's Rain with the Rock's head and Kane's body." And he's like, "Good thing you didn't name him the other thing." Oh, also, sorry, before I get there, in SmackDown '06, you could do nicknames for people on their nameplates when they come out. And for me, when I made myself as a separate character, I had Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis, and shit like that. With Rain, especially because I busted his stats up, I had it say, "Oh shit, it's Rain." So he said that, and he sees that, and he's like, "Well, it's a good thing you didn't name him the other way around." And like I said, we never thought of anything other than Rain for this character. And I was just like, what the fuck do you
Kane's
mean?
head, the Rock's body.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean the other way of around? What would that be? Cock. Oh my god, you're right. We never did name him Cock.
With a K.
Yeah, we never did name him Cock with a K. And then
we never thought about that.
Yeah, it never crossed our mind. Because we did Rock's head, Kane's body, Rain. We didn't even try Kane's head, Rock body. That would look weird. But so we were like,
as funny as it sounds, that seems like that would look crazier.
Yeah, so we were like, all right. So I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck it. Well, now I have to. So I made a separate character who's Kane's head with the Rock's body, but it was the Rock, black and white, shirt and sweatpants, outfit. Yeah, tracksuit. Thank you. It was the Rock tracksuit attire, but with Kane's head. And I named him Cock and had to go, oh shit, it's Cock when he comes out. And then I decided to put them in a tag team stable called Oh Shit, It's Rain and Cock.
That's stupid as hell, man.
But it was fun. I just remembered that, talking about the old days and stuff like that.
I remember when I was in 8th grade, you talk about like It's Rain and remind me of, so when I was in 8th grade, we had to do, they paired us off in groups, and we had to do something like dealing with we had to do like a I forgot why we had to do this shit, and I don't even fully remember what it was, but it was some like weather report thingy or whatever. We had to make it look like a newscast type thing or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me and some of my friends at the time, we got paired off in this group of 4. And we had to, I think we had to like put the shit in a song or some shit. So our asses took It's Rain and Men, right? And just changed it to It's Rain and Rain. And then to give us some movement, we did this half-hearted, 4 fucking like 13-year-old boys did this half-hearted can. Like dun, 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 dun. And we was in this motherfucker like it's rain and rain. Hallelujah. It's rain and rain. Our rain. It's rain and rain. Fucked around and got a B.
That's the way you do it. Play that guitar on the MTV.
And I remember I was doing weather. I was like the weatherman, and my name was and nobody got it. And but we called it like this because we didn't want the teacher to find out. But I was Michael Roch. Yeah, we were definitely some young kids, right? But we titled it that way, and we didn't draw attention to it just so the teacher wouldn't find out. Nah, man. That was you talk about there, but we fuck around and got a B. I'm not mad, but what?
Well, it's like when it comes to like silly names like that. That's great. I remember writing something, trying to write a one act at one point in high school, and we wanted to have a comedy murder mystery about like somebody dying and whatever, and we called it The Extraordinary Case of Richard Stead, where the victim was a guy named Richard Stead. Which, when you say it fast enough, and he's the murder victim, it's Richard's dead. We just had to come in there.
No. Okay. So, I'm like, is it a dick? Dick joke? Right. But I didn't get it. Yeah.
No, Richard's dead. Like, who's the murder victim? Who's the guy that died here? Richard Stead. That's all we just like. I don't remember.
That's actually really fucking clever.
But we did stuff like that. There was also stew, which I think I told you guys about. Okay, you guys have heard of stew by now. It was something that the friend that I worked with on there. I'll say it here, Fred. Y'all know Fred. Just so Ibn stops being confused and you stop being confused. You can edit the name out if you want, but Fred.
If you want
Fred
me
and I were trying to think of something because I always thought I like random. Yes, you should at least. I don't know if you don't. He's in the same friend group as the other guy that I mentioned to you guys the other day that had got the bad news.
Oh,
he's in that same friend group.
Oh yeah, he wears glasses. He's black dude.
No. His name starts with a T.
And is very much a black name, much like my own.
Yeah.
I forgot his name too.
There's no problem. But same friend group. Yes. This Fred is a tall white guy though. Bottom line is I like random comedy and stuff, and I remember thinking in high school, talking with him one day, and I'm like, it'd be crazy if there was like a movie trailer where you could not tell what the movie was about because all the clips in the trailer don't relate to one another. But we decided we were going to make a fake movie trailer for something, and then like in theory we would just keep releasing it in front of like movies of people we know and just have people still like and just keep coming soon on it, but make it like a year-long multi-year long campaign for this movie Stew. And people are just like, when is this coming out? What the fuck is this movie about? But we decided to do like a joke trailer involving Stew and what it was. We settled on Stew because I looked up words for confusion, and Stew was one of them, STEW. But Stew can also be a name. Short.
That makes sense. Yeah, like a stew of whatever, right?
Or Stew Pickles.
Yeah, but Stewart could also be a name. So we're like, we got the name of the movie and the main character's name right off the bat, and a pun on words that no one's gonna fucking get, where we're telling them right off the bat that they're supposed to be confused. That was the idea of having that. So we worked on Stew, and we had various clips. It was one of the most fun things I ever did in high school, where we recorded just random clips. Like one of them, apparently I was Stew. Well, that was the character I kept portraying for the majority of my time on the screen for this. But like it started off because I can't find it these days. Otherwise, I just tell people to look it up.
Yeah.
But it started off. It started off. Well, I remember telling you guys I was working on it, but I don't think you ever saw the finished product because we failed at uploading it. Like I had to go to college by the time it was able to finish being uploaded. I was working on it senior year of high school. So either way.
You still have it?
No.
He just said he can't find it. He just said
no, because we were working on it at the school as like a little side thing because our school had like a TV editing department thing.
Okay.
Anyway, so I remember the trailer would start with, or it started with like fucking sitting at a thing just sitting there like, damn it, Stu, you blew up 5 city blocks. What the hell are you doing? And I'm like, but Chief, I saved the bunny. I didn't cough. But I was like, but Chief, I saved the bunny rabbit, okay? I thought it had rabies. And he's just, damn it, Stu, you can't be a cop. And just,
that is very confusing.
And then we just had like random other stuff. We had aforementioned guy with glasses sitting there, la 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 la, dressed like Hamlet because we were doing Hamlet at one point, and we like, let's just get a clip of you singing for no reason. Did something else. One part is me like laying on a table as if I'm dead, and aforementioned dude still in the Hamlet thing.
Oh man, too bad y'all.
We had a giant fucking. There was a giant mallet that I got as a prop from something. It was just a giant fucking black hammer made out of primarily duct tape. But I had it, and I brought it to school a bunch. And again, don't know where that is now. We'll never know where it is. But there was also a clip of where I played a different character. Some people call me Mallet Mayhem. Some people call me the Lumberjack. You can call me Mallet Mayhem. And then show another clip, come back. Or the Lumberjack. It really doesn't matter. shit like that. It was a fun time. It didn't make any sense. It was probably a lot more funny up here than it was when we finally executed it. But the fact of the matter is, that was some of the most fun I had in high school when it came to like that, as well as like just editing things in general. Because you guys are from Missouri. You remember the map test?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Missouri's
Assessment
program.
Assessment program. It's standardized testing. Down here, they got the FCAT, or at least they used to. I don't know. I don't pay attention to what they do now. But every state has their own thing.
Missouri, that shit was dumb, man.
Missouri had the map test, and while I'm just talking about shit I do with my friends in high school, unless you guys want to change the subject,
keep going.
Yeah, but while I'm on the subject, my high school, like I said, they had they had classes in a department where they could actually teach you how to use editing software and stuff like that.
I wish I had that in school.
Yeah, we had Studio 4. We also had like our own school news, and it was pretty much a news studio within that. So one of the things the school did every year for the map thing, and it happened before we got there, was a tradition to just during map week to try and like hype people up for the map test. They'd show videos by students every morning, usually just parodies of shit or just little small jokes, but something map test related. And you know, like before we got there was a video called The Map Tricks. Guess what that's a parody of? But
what? The Matrix.
You need to take the red pill or the blue pill.
Yeah, got that. Senior year, and we had done some like small stuff in between, but senior year of high school for me was my I'm going out here, I want to be remembered type of year. But we were doing stuff for like the map test, and Glasses, and I don't feel like calling the man Glasses, but because you referred to him as Glasses, and I'm trying not to use names. Him and I, we had a skit where we wanted to have a recurring skit over the couple days. There was this big thing at the time called OnStar. It was something that you put in your car, and it's like a help me button if you're in bad situations. And their commercial campaign back then was
Batman.
Huh?
Batman was in one of them commercials for them.
Okay, their commercial campaign I'm referring to back then was the following is a call between an OnStar subscriber and an advisor. So we decided we'd do MapStar because it was like mainly audio parodies. So we had a couple of them. The first one, I was the person. Yeah, map test help. It was a map test help hotline. The first time I was the customer, aforementioned friend, the person, advisor. So call up. It's like, oh, hey, thank you for calling MapStar. How can we help you? Hi, I'm a student trying to take the map test, and I have a problem. I can't find my number 2 pencil. Stupid shit like this, right? And they're like, what the? Oh, look, calm down. And the teacher's like, okay, class, let's get ready. We need to do stuff, but I tried looking at my book bag and everywhere, and I can't find it. And I'm like panicking, and eventually he's like asking me to look place. He's like, okay, I got one more thing for you. And I'm like, oh no, it's gonna talk. And he's like, okay, can you do me a favor? Do me a favor? Okay. All right, I want you to take your right hand. Yeah. Put it right up by your ear. Okay. Do you feel something there? I think I do. Go ahead and pull that out for me. Is that your number 2 pencil? It is my number 2 pencil!
That's some creative shit, man.
We did that and whatever. And then we had another one where, and the idea was MapStar helps you with this stuff. We had another one where we flipped it, where he was the customer and I was the person. He was, Miss Felici. And she was trying to find out where she could pick up the test. So we let's do one for the teachers, like where they need to pick up their test at the office and stuff at the school, and say stuff like that just to have another commercial. He even filmed like a thing. And the reason we did this stuff to make the map testing overly did because it seemed to be a trend in these videos to overblow the importance of the map test. Like there were people that did like Cribs episodes where the person was, yes, they were famous for being what they did, but also because they got really good map stores. Now, the friend from Stu had his own video series during this time. Or the main friend from Stu, like the damn it, Stu, you can't be a cop. He had his own thing. It was 4 videos that all consisted of the same thing. him being painted green in a dumpster. And
he really painted himself
talking like
green.
this, yes. And talking like this.
Like the Hulk.
In every video.
No, like Oscar the Grouch.
In every video, he talked like this. The kicker was, he was a different character every time. So, the first video, he pops out, and they all started the same. You see, like, a zoom in on the dumpster, and he pops out, "Hi, kids! It's me!" And I think the first character was Larry the Loser Lizard. You might know my cousin, Gary, the Geico Gecko. No, the Geico Gecko's last name isn't Gary, but they decided to make it rhyme with Larry the Loser Lizard. Or go with Larry the Loser Lizard. You know what I mean? Gary and Larry. So, you might know my cousin. The thing you might not know is that I was in line to get that part. But on the day of the map test, they had an all-you-could-eat fly buffet, and I spent all my time there instead of working on the map test and getting good scores. He got good scores, and now he's a millionaire, and I live in a dumpster. Bottom line, take the map test. Yeah, go in the thing.
After school special shit like a motherfucker.
Next day. Hi, kids. It's me, the Incredible Hulk.
There you go, even my bad.
The Incredible Hulk. Life was bad for me, but I think eventually I think of that when Homeland Security found out I failed the map test and they took away my doctorate. So now even in my normal form, I can't do anything.
Does that even
fucking
happen?
And now I live in a dumpster. And then, that. Third day, it was him painted green, and my friend that that had the bad news lately, he was painted red. And it's like, "Hi, kids. I like again, you sound like Krusty the Clown every time. Hi, kids. Right. I'm Larry the Cucumber." And other guys like, "And I'm Bob the Tomato."
Oh, like he's mad.
They can't say, yeah, that's what I love. The delivery he had was like, "And I'm Bob the Tomato. Get me the fuck off this camera." That's the delivery he had to it. Right. But it just worked. But it's like, "I'm Bob the Tomato." Bottom line is, for that was VeggieTales got canceled because they found out they had bad map test scores. Bottom line, passed the map test. And then day 4, the final day that we were doing map test that week, "Hi, kids. It's me, Oscar the Grouch. You might know me for living in a trash can, but once they found out about the map test scores I had, I got upgraded to a whole dumpster." It was a success story. So that was Fred's thing during that time. So we had a lot of things going on silly senior year. So
where were these shown? These were shown just
at
like
school during the map tests.
So everybody saw these that y'all were doing.
Yes, and amongst stuff from other students at the school. But cool. And Fred's thing was each one was a different day of the week out of the 4 days. And our map star was one day was that, another day was that. We had a third one where Twain was doing an interview. He was working on. He was doing whatever.
If you don't give a fuck, I don't care.
I'm sorry if you don't want your name out there. But he was doing it. I have too many friends. It's hard for me to keep going this friend and that friend when we're trying to be spontaneous about what we're talking about. But it's like, he was like doing an interview. And it's just like, at Mapstar, we do so-and-so, like advertising that way with someone asking in a mock interview. So that was another one we wanted to do. I don't think that one ever got finished and put out. But non-map test related, senior year, there was another project that Twain and I were working on. One, we did a music video to the NERD song "She Wants to Move." That was just fun.
That was y'all like your crew's like theme song or something.
Primarily because of that. And "Hi, Kids" was also in that video to a small extent. Anyway, yeah. So one day, he and I were just chilling, and we decided, let's make a fight scene. It'll be really fucking cool because we're all actors in this group. We decided, let's do a fucking stage combat fight scene. So we record a thing. Starts off where and neither of us had seen Pulp Fiction before I go into this, but we wanted to fight over something that people didn't really know what we were fighting over and not tell them. And we decided, let's fight over a briefcase and not tell you what's inside of it. Like I said, neither of us had seen Pulp Fiction.
Wow. That is, yeah.
But let's see a briefcase and you don't see what's inside, because it's the easiest way for us to be fighting over something. You know we're fighting over something, and we never have to tell you what it is.
Now, if the briefcase glowed when you open that bitch, then I'd be like,
no. So, thing starts off, I show up with the briefcase, He's like, hey, what you got in the case? Who wants to know? Who wants to know? And he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. And then, I eventually put it on the ground. I'm like, open it up, see the briefcase open. I'm like, it's not much. Just a little, And then I hit him with the briefcase. I close it and try to get away. We go down the hallway. Like, he sees me walking away. He's like, hey, stop. And we really wanted this cool camera shot from like the Matrix where I sit still, but the camera goes to another angle. And we got it to work thanks to Bob the Tomato. But we did that, and it was like cool shot, and then we get a fight in the hallway. And the initial cut of it, he had a friend come in and help him, and it was cool. The fight was fantastic. But what sucked about it, because it was almost perfect, except one time I hit the dude with the fucking briefcase, like down to up. It looked beautiful. He sold it perfectly, like as if he got hit. It was fantastic. And then he got up and held his stomach. I hit him in the face.
He messed up.
I hit him in the face. Yeah. Then he gets up and holds his stomach.
He messed up.
What the fuck?
He messed up. Yeah.
And we didn't realize it until we were editing. Because, it was like showing different shots or whatever for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck. But, we did it. We still recorded it. Our teacher sees it and like, what'd be cool with that is if that had a number 2 pencil inside. And you made it about your like map star thing. And then like, oh yeah. So we recorded a thing of, protagonist from the video getting the briefcase from me somehow or whatever, going to do a drop off, like in a park or something. Aforementioned, or some dude picks up the briefcase, opens it up, takes out a number 2 pencil. Now I can finally take the map test. Thanks, Mapstar. And then it cuts to him like, at Mapstar, we will fight for your right to take the map test. We wanted to take it even a step further, though we never asked the principal. I really wish we could have, because we had this cool principal, Mr. T. He got, no one called him that. I'm just saying his last name began with a T.
Oh, okay, because I'm like,
yeah. We wanted him to jump on the fucking desk, like, or get him on the, you gotta fight, bad for your right, take the map test. Yeah, so that would have been funny to have him, like, jumping on the desk, doing that, and everything. I really wish we would have asked him, because looking back, we might have had enough nepotism and favoritism in our back pocket to cash in a favor like that. But we were too nervous to ask him to do that. Instead, we took it. I can see that in high school. Instead, we took it a different route. All right, so we eventually get Bob the Tomato in on it, and yeah, I'll just call it the guy Glasses, and then we'll say tall dude for dude number 3. But
you didn't already said names, but okay.
Whatever. But now I'm trying to challenge myself for like future reference. No disrespect to those guys; they are also brothers of mine.
Let me know if you want me to mute names out later.
Yeah. So yeah, Bob the Tomato gets in on it, trying to like help us edit, and we're like, we're gonna make this a whole fucking story that's also 3 days in addition to our Mapstar shit. So we decided we were gonna go ahead and pick up a part 2 where we re-recorded part 1 without the friend that held the stomach, because we were doing a different story about it now. We decided, yes, there's a number 2 pencil in it. We still don't tell you that right off the way. So we re-recorded part 1 without the other dude. And we decided part 2, we're going to do a fight. And we had this big idea for this fight. It would have been beautiful. Glasses and I, on top of a pavilion in the park, at sunrise as the backdrop.
On top of a pavilion.
Yes. We knew the pavilion to have it. It was in Dunnigan Park. We were like, we're going to be on top of that pavilion. Sunrise in the background for the lighting. It's going to be fucking godlike. You know, so we're like, let's do the idea of there being a drop-off at the park, you know, and have him come, drop it off. Somebody else picks it up, and then, or I pick it back up or something like that, and we get into a fight, you know, climacting with the fight on the pavilion with sunrise in the background. So we started running low. Because we decided to do that so late, we had a very small time period to do this. So we eventually came to a night where we spent all night at the school. We started off doing reshoot and editing what we could during that reshoot of the first part. And took turns editing it. And then part 2, we're like, okay, it's about 6 a.m. Let's go to the park, get some fucking, you know, have some like dusk so that by the time we're on the pavilion. And we eventually realized we had to do it at night with sunrise because we were trying to practice during the day. And some cops are like, get your ass down from on top of that pavilion.
That's what I said, on top of a fucking pavilion. Right.
So
Right,
we're like,
fuck,
let's
man.
go ahead and do this at night. Less chance of patrolling cops. And we
That's
want the
funny.
sunrise backdrop anyway. Because we might have wanted sunset initially. But eventually
Okay.
we settled on sunrise. And we're like, we're up all night, much to my mother's chagrin. She did not like it that we were doing this. Reasonably so,
Yeah,
to be fair.
Your mother. Fuck each
Yeah,
other, bro.
reasonably so. She did not like that we were doing this. But either way, we get to the park. We go to the bench. There's a street light near where the bench is. So, you know, okay, we can see the bench. Got the camera set up into position. We get Glasses ready to drop off this briefcase because, you know, he takes the briefcase from me like in the hallway and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, he does that.
What the
No, I was trying to make sure I got the rest of my
Like,
parts.
is there-
I was
is
trying
there
to make sure I had
glitches
the
in
rest of my parts for the story in line for who did what. So anyway, he's under the street light, ready to go. Like, okay, get ready to film in 3, 2. Actually, can you step forward a little bit more? No, how about to the left, to the right? And it was at this point that Glasses and I came to a very, very important realization. We're black. So we didn't show up that well on the camera at night under only a street light for lighting.
Oh no.
And the other two friends were like,
Well, yeah, Bob the Tomato was the only other person involved with this thing,
Oh,
but in
okay.
case I mentioned the other one. But yeah, so Bob the
Wow.
Tomato was like, and none of the three of us realized this. We were like, but yes, Bob the Tomato is white for people at home.
Right.
We were like, oh shit, this isn't good. We were banking everything on this sunrise fight, but we don't show up well enough on camera.
Wow.
So we ended up settling for a different idea. We'd fight in the park. There's a little playground thing at that park. We changed the fight to that. And it would be between Glasses and Bob the Tomato. So what we eventually had. So
you have one person that don't show up, one person that will. I'm joking.
yeah. So we had the fight scene go. We had the fight scene at the school. Same thing. Hey, what you got in the case? Who wants to know? You know, all that stuff. Then just a little, you know, attack. He wins the briefcase. We even have the hey camera shot. Really cool camera shot. And then we go to the park the next day during school hours. I just kind of found we had a class. Like I said, we had more privileges than we should have, but we did because we were good at what we did, I guess, and good students on top of it. So we go to the park at like in the afternoon, and what we get is Glasses goes up to this bench in the park, sets the briefcase down, goes away because it's the drop-off point. Bob the Tomato backs his car up, looks around, tries to take the briefcase for himself, hops in the car and starts driving. We then cut to a shot that shouldn't have been taken, very irresponsible, but damn if it didn't look beautiful. Where I had the camera, I'm sitting in the passenger side window, sitting outside of the passenger side window, like on the windowsill, filming this as Glasses runs up to the car as it's starting to take off, jumps on the back, climbs up, and reaches through the open sunroof. Pull the car over! Pull the car over! And we did this in real speed. It was very ill-advised. And,
Wow.
and as stupid as it was that we did it, I did try to object as much as I did, but it was one of those, I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna do this. We shouldn't do this, guys. We shouldn't do this.
So he jumped on the back, not on the front.
Yeah, on the back. Crawled up the
If
back
you
of the
jumped on
car.
front, that would mean you were coming.
Yeah, no, he crawled at the back of the car. Like he got on it while it was like starting to take off, but we were eventually up at like 20 or 30 going because it was a long little stretch of road.
I was about to say how fast did you say?
It was eventually
fast,
about
man.
20 or 30. So
That's
it was
still fast.
like
We doing
real enough speed to die.
Yeah.
So
hanging off the fucking like roof.
but it
reaching
worked
through the
perfectly.
sunroof.
You could see him like call up, reach in, and grab the guy, pull the car over. So fucking dangerous, but magna fucking
on
feet.
big like $1 million movie sets, they have harnesses and tracks to make.
I had a seatbelt around one of my legs.
Yeah, what?
A seatbelt around one of my legs. Glasses had nothing.
wait.
Bob had the car.
You just kind of said his name, but no. Anyway, but no. So when you say you were out the window, you don't mean you were just out the window. You were sitting on
The windowsill.
Oh man, you
with your
tripping?
like whole torso out.
The top part of my body was outside of the car. How else am I going to get the whole shot? How else am I going to get the whole shot?
How else am I gonna? Oh, that's the bro. How else do I get the shot? How else would that happen?
Y'all could have died. That would have been
Yo.
bad.
I'm gonna let you finish your story, but I'm gonna say real quick. Those stories and instances and moments like that where shit is dumb as fuck, but you have the best fun. Those are some of the most fun fucking memories, man.
Yes. So we do this. And I'm filming, we get it. He eventually pulls him over. Then the two of them have a fight scene on the playground using various swings and slides for props. Eventually, they the fight ends. Glasses is the victor. Music hits, like dramatic music. I actually used the cell. I ended up picking the music for the video, and I used the cell theme for like his like thing. And like so, he's like, ugh. Opens the briefcase. It's empty. And it's like, what? And then you hear me behind, and then you see me behind it. Hey, I think I have what you're looking for. Mad closes the case, gets up, starts walking toward me, and then I pull it up, holding a number 2 pencil. And into part 2, because it was all gonna be one long thing, but we walk down. He ends up chasing me down a hill to like a little perfectly like semi-circled out area down a hill where it was great little fucking scenery for our final fight. And then we eventually get the explanation. He's like, why would you take that pencil? You know people need the map test, needed to take the map test because the map test destroys lives like it did when it destroyed mine for failing it. You're wrong. The map test saves lives. And I was like, the map test saves lives, and that's why we're taking you down. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, enough of this idle banter. Let's get it on. And we start fighting. And we had this thing, Bulls on Parade's instrumentals in the background. So we're like fighting. Beats me up. At one point, I have like I'm standing over him with my hands on his neck because I'm initially like, now who's the one in charge? Huh? Tell me who. And he hits me. But due to the way it was edited and because of the way I ended up delivering the line, all that happened by the time it showed Glasses knocking me off of him was just like, don't meet. And knocked over like, what the fuck were you saying there? And Bob the man was like, no, when I tried to edit that, I had no idea what the fuck he was saying. Like, he just, like, look, and they showed it, and it's just like, who's the one in charge? Huh? Tell me! But it sounded more like dumb meat, and we couldn't figure out, like, maybe I'm saying tell me who's the one in charge, because I got cut off when he hit me. You know what I mean? But we do it. Glasses eventually wins. I think we wanted to make it a Mapstar guy fought for the pencil thing after that and just kind of like have a Mapstar logo. I don't remember exactly how we ended it, but we did make it matter to the map test. Teacher's like, that's too long, split it into parts. Because it was hella long. So we split it into 3 parts for 3 days. It was a 3-parter. Only 2 parts got shown to the school.
Why?
Because the teacher didn't feel like showing a part 3. He cut it off with the part where I held up the pencil, and they never saw the final fight where I explained why we're fighting over the number 2 pencil.
Wow.
Did any of your students ever be like, yo, our classmates,
They said we ripped off the Matrix because of that one camera shot. They're like, it was just a wannabe Matrix. I'm like, it had nothing to do with the Matrix or the Matrix.
Did y'all get a good grade on it?
Yeah. We did a lot of other shit in that class. Like I said,
anybody ever say anything about the
we were getting an A
hanging
regardless.
out the window, hanging off the fucking card?
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, y'all shouldn't have done that. I didn't give you clearance to do that. You were using a school camera and doing all this stuff. So, fair point. Also, you guys are putting yourself in danger, and that makes me a liability, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not thinking about the danger because Bob was like, yeah, we were going real slow. We just used movie magic to make it look like it was faster. But meanwhile, I'm like, we recorded it in real time. Not realizing, probably I should keep my mouth shut about that. But now it's been a while. Been a few years since then.
I mean, like I said, man, sometimes you got to do dumb shit, and dumb shit makes the best memories. Because without going into more detail than what I'm going to say, I remember at one of the schools that I attended late one night when motherfuckers went streaking. Just for a quick little bit.
That was hilarious.
Without going into more detail.
I just need to know two things. Did they go through the quad or into the gymnasium?
Oh, no,
it wasn't a whole lot of streaking. It was just some people were hanging out, and then they just kind of they got
that shit.
Movie reference. Just making a movie reference. Old school. We're going streaking.
No, did the hanging up the car scene really did turn out that like incredible?
Oh, it was fantastic. C'est magnifique. Like, I was so proud, and I'm still so proud of it. That part and the Wayne and I came to whatever. God damn it, whatever. He and I coming to the very important conclusion that we're black, because that in itself is such a punchline.
Both of y'all realized.
Yeah, the important realization. No, it was in the same moment that we're like, oh shit, we can't film this. We're black. We don't show up well at night on camera.
That is hilarious.
But I've learned over time when it comes to like telling that story, I've always like phrased it the same thing. And it's at this point we came to a very important realization, because people are like, what happened? And it's like, if they didn't already go, how the fuck you recording at night? You were black in their head. They're just listening to the story that they're like, well, what's the important realization? We're black. You didn't take that into consideration to begin with? Not really. We were just like, it would be cool as fuck to get a fight on top of the pavilion in the sunrise. Was I apprehensive to doing some of these things just because I was scared? Yes. Did I do them anyway? Yes. Because I wanted the shot. I wanted the coolness. I'm not good with heights. Even something is not that high as a pavilion, I didn't want to do it. But we did it. It was fun. The whole fight was fun. We were just mad that the third part never got shown.
Y'all don't have any more copies of this at all.
It was a long time ago. Probably no. And it was initially property of the school when it first was done. So, because we did it for class.
That sucks.
Yeah. I used to have copies of the She Wants to Move thing, but that was on a VHS that I have no idea where it is.
A VHS, first off, so yeah.
Oh, yes, for the people at home, a VHS is the form of media passed out a long time before DVDs was a thing. what are DVDs? Well, they're like Blu-rays, but they can hold less stuff on them. In fact,
What's a Blu-ray?
What's a Blu-ray?
no, people know what a Blu-ray is. That's what their video
before,
games are on.
Before they started streaming.
This is a DVD actually, so they do still make them.
Man, that was made as early as 2018 or 2019. Probably.
Yeah, 2019ish. Actually, yeah, I got this in 2019 because it was like the last time I was out of town. Because later that time I got the flu, and then a couple months after that, bad times.
Oh shit! But no, I said it probably had to be 2019 because I was looking at stuff for Dragon Ball Super Broly, and it said it came out November 18th or like November 4th or something in 2018. So the DVD would have had to come out like a month, 2 months, 3 months later. So yeah. But no, people talk about high school, man, and I had a good high school. My high school experience was fun. First year, yeah, it was a culture shock because I went to a different type of high school or whatnot. But
middle school, you mean middle school?
No, my high school experience, it was a culture shock.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I went to a different high school compared to the other ones. It was more hood compared to the other schools that I had gone to. But after I got acclimated to it and found my footing, I had a good time in high school. So, I mean, not talking about nobody who did, but my high school experience was fun. It was.
Mine. Oh, okay. Mine was cool. Like I went to 2 different high schools.
We went to one for freshman, junior, and then one for
freshman,
sophomore, and one for junior, senior.
Yeah, I went to 2 different high schools. The first one I went to, man, looking back on it, I didn't like being there. I don't want to get into too much.
Okay.
I played baseball and I wrestled, so I knew a lot of people, but they were more acquaintances than anything. I had like one good friend there, but when I went to the other high school I went to, oh man, that's some of the best time I ever had in my life.
That's what I was saying, because we went to my all 4 years of high school at the same one, but his last 2 we were at the same school.
Yeah.
I had some good times, man.
Yeah, we did.
Like hearing Pete's stories, and then some like think about like I said, motherfuckers went streaking. But
that
like,
was hilarious, man.
Just the stories, man. Like the one night where we all like went out, not high school related, but with our high school friends and everybody, we went out. I don't think I told this on the podcast. I don't know. But everybody had to do like something dealing with "Are you dickhead enough?"
Oh yeah. Tell a story.
Yeah, okay. Everybody had to do something like, okay, two of our good friends, like my good friend in high school and his cousin, who I think wasn't his real cousin.
They weren't cousins.
They were so close, he said cousin. They heard somewhere some shit or had seen like some YouTube video or something, because that was, YouTube had just started. So some YouTube video about like, are you dickhead enough or some shit. So we had one night where somebody was doing that and saying, like, doing dumb shit and saying that, right? So we had one night where it was like the six of us, I think it was, and everybody had to go around at some point this night
public.
On this weekend, go around and do just something stupid in public and say, "Are you dickhead enough?" So the night started off with two of our friends in the group. They got down on the subway tracks when no subway was coming, and
this is DC.
In DC, when no subway was coming, and just played patty cake on the subway tracks.
Yes.
When no subway was coming.
They did that, yes.
And then looked in the camera and said, "Are you dickhead?" Because the thing was, everybody had to look in the camera and say, "Are you dickhead enough?" And then do their thing. They said, "Are you dickhead enough?" And
so it's like Jackass, but are you dickhead enough? Basically, don't get me started on idiots with cameras.
And then, another one of our friends, they had this dance called "Beat Your Feet," which was like, you doing this little dance and shit.
So it's a local music in DC called Go-Go.
So it's like this.
It's a lot of drums and stuff. So
yeah, so they were doing this dance and this wild shit or whatever. So this dude, he was good at it. So this motherfucker puts his headphones in on this crowded subway while it's moving.
Yeah.
Says, "Are you dickhead enough?" And it starts doing this fucking obnoxious ass dance. While it's moving,
I didn't think that was that. I didn't think that was that.
That wasn't that bad, but it was stupid. I forgot what did his cousin do?
Oh,
I think he did something that wasn't so bad.
He said something dumb to people.
It was. It could have been better.
Me too. I did something bad too.
Y'all too could have been better. Yeah. And then I remember they said I won the night.
You did. Tell them what you did.
Because what I did. So I was always good at doing the worm. I still kind of can. Yeah. But I could do the worm. Like I tried to do the worm one time, and I was always I
so we doing it.
I was gonna say real quick. People who don't know, everybody should know. People who don't know the worm. You lay down. You do the body wave on the ground and move forward with it, like what Scotty Tuhati used to do,
or like the caterpillar that Otis does.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So we there's this place in DC. The DC area is DC, Maryland, and parts of Maryland, parts of Virginia.
They call it the DMV. The people
DMV.
The DMV.
Yeah. So it's this town in Maryland called Silver Spring, which is outside DC. It's like right there. It's like going to fucking Clayton or something. You know, right on the border.
People not from St. Louis ain't gonna get that. But no, it was right there. You could catch the subway a few stops and everybody hung out at this like outside area where the street was closed off. Yeah. And it was like a mall and everything over there. People
mall, restaurants, movie theaters.
Yeah. Just get you some nightlife. So
sometimes they block the streets off. You can walk in the street and all that.
Yeah. So people be hanging out and stuff. So I remember one, like after everybody done their thing and they were saying everybody had to do something, you know, everybody in the group had to do some shit, right? So, I told everybody like hold all the shit in my pockets, and we were still kind of deciding like how we would do it, how I could do it, right? So Scotty Tuhati, you know, he used to do the worm and then do like W-O-R-M and then do the worm, who, and then, you know, hit the dude. So in the middle of them trying to decide like what Jazz was gonna do, I just out of nowhere yelled in this crowded ass area, "Are you dickhead enough? D-I-C-K." And then,
that shit was hilarious,
and
man.
it did the work.
we were dying that night. That shit was hilarious, man.
Just in the middle of it. "Are you digging?" And it just did that shit. And I remember me and like my good friend in the high school and his cousin, we were like hanging out at his place some like weeks or whatever later, and they were like, "Yeah, I think you might have won that night."
Yeah, he did.
Oh shit! I was talking with somebody else too, and dude was like, yeah, he said, if anything, it makes for stories for people. Somebody might be like, yeah, this dude just yelled, "Are you dickhead enough?" one time, and then did the work.
Man, damn. I want to keep talking about stories, but
well, I was gonna say,
yeah,
but anyway. I wiggled on the pavement. We're gonna have to wiggle on down, worm this on down to an end. Cause I know that was a terrible segue. Cause no surprise face. Oh shit. I'm gonna miss it.
You spent the whole thing talking about your hospitals, so I could tell it's coming to an end.
Oh, I'm gonna miss the Ibn surprise face. The Ibn where the time go face. Oh. Anyway, so
how time flies when you're having fun.
Sorry, I'm just doing the slow motion Undertaker thing. I was doing the Undertaker thing.
Okay. I was singing Janet Jackson. So.
Well,
we all chose different songs to talk about the fact that the streak is over for Ibn's surprise that is ending.
But no, I was hoping y'all would like somebody sing some like slow or whatever. So hopefully you all enjoyed yourself on this podcast. Another episode of Whatever We Want, I believe 13, lucky number 13. Hopefully you will be so inclined to comment down below and engage in some dialogue with us. I would appreciate some dialogue. I had a good time hearing Omari's reminiscing with Ibn about.
Hey, man, you can stop now. Please stop.
Have fun playing video games. And if you would like to see more of yours truly, aside from tuning back into the podcast,
ride a bike, don't ride a bike.
You can go ahead and check out Superjaz on Facebook. That's SUPERJAZ. Like the page. Follow me on Twitter. At Superjaz2. That's at Superjaz number 2. And of course, you can also follow me on Instagram, Forever Superjaz, forever spelled correctly. If you would also be so inclined and like to, I do make music. I do rap. Go ahead. Anywhere you stream your music.
Please stop, man.
Look up Too Much Free Time. That's the EP. Too Much Free Time spelled correctly.
Too much free time.
And keep looking out for the album My Secret Identity. Pete, tell me something good.
Oh, you can find me here. And whatever we wanna do, I don't have a rhyme for you, but I will tell you, you could also find me on YouTube. That kind of rhymes not really, but under Feogrande. That's Feogrande. Read the hat. Also, you can find me at twitch.tv/Giotavi, Giotavi. My Twitter's just the same as that. Like a cat with a dog and a bat, and rhyming words when you're doing the thirds, and doing what I wanna do. Drink it do. I'll pass it to you. It's been working to find you.
Yeah, I just don't want y'all finding me at all.
Don't look for
Yeah,
him.
don't look for me.
Don't find him.
Don't watch me watch
If
TV.
you find him, you will regret it. So watch TV and eat something good while you do it. Either way, I guess we'll see you next time on the show.
What are we going to talk about next?
Whatever we want.
What are we going to talk about next?
Whatever we want.
What are we going to talk about next?
Whatever we want. Adiosness.